Admiral Thomas, Commodore Cuckle, Captain Huffman, Mr. Huffman, Mr. Cipolla, distinguished guests, fellow members of the Samuel B. Roberts family. You know, no matter how much things change and the older we get, some things never change. By that I mean I was walking in here today and a sailor from the present crew, Samuel B. Roberts, walked up to me and said he'd run into somebody on the pier. Said his name was Tilly. He was looking for the suggestion box. So I said, well, what did he have? So he handed me this note, and I want to read it to you because it'll tell you things just don't change very much. To Captain Rinn, from Fireman Tilly. Captain, it's very hot out here today. And I want you to know that there's no equation between the length of your talk and its quality. Remember, Lincoln spoke for 3.5 minutes and they remembered him forever. Try not to disappoint us and keep up. God love Michael Tilly. All right. And we come together today to honor and pay tribute to a great lady, Samuel B. Roberts, FFG 58. She's given the nation more than it could ever ask for. Sleek and trim, and looking pretty good today. She provided us with a home far from the shores of our nation, and very often in hostile waters. Those of us who have served aboard her have always been dazzled by her maneuverability, exhilarated by her acceleration, and awed by her durability and indestructibility. A quick story about the acceleration. Once we blew by on a DD-963 because we could beat them off the line with acceleration. And when they tried to keep up with us going into Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, I sent the captain a flashing light and said, "You want to drag? If so, I'll kick in my other 2 engines." After that, the CO came back and said, "I didn't know you had 4 engines on you." Of the 17 COs that this ship sheltered while we're here, 10 are with us today. And I'd like to ask all 10 of those commanding officers to stand for a moment. Stay standing. And now I would like to ask everyone who has served on Samuel B. Roberts FFG 58 to stand. Now listen up, okay, before you sit down. Aviators always say, surface guys, they don't, and people always talk about us, but hey, we're a frigate, guys, and we have a lot of heart and spirit. So this is our last time. It is our last time to say praise to this beautiful platform behind us. So I want you to join me in a heartfelt 3 cheers for Samuel B. Roberts. You ready? Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray! Okay, you can sit down now. It's all right. Thanks very much. There's also a group that I want to recognize today because without them, a lot of us wouldn't be here. You see, in the dry dock in Dubai, the manager of the Dubai shipyard came to me and said, you got a 30-foot hole in your ship, the keel's gone, you had 2,000 tons of water on you. No ship in the European Navy, any European Navy would have survived this. But I want to tell you something that's amazing. We have not been able to find a single cracked weld anywhere on the ship. So to that amazing group of Mainers, very interesting personalities, who built and then rebuilt our ship, as John Towns would tell you, better than ever, I would like to ask for a round of applause for the mechanics and the welders of Bath Ironworks. Now let's get serious. In response to those who would say, FFGs like Samuel B. Roberts, they were destined to be underperformers. Square peg, round hole, all of that silliness. Well, we used to laugh at that because we would go anywhere we wanted to and do exactly what we were supposed to do. in anything our naval leaders directed us to do, and we often exceeded their expectations. And frequently, very frequently, we went places where the more capable ships could not venture. Throughout its history, each Samuel B. Roberts Ship's Company have been a small but very tight-knit group, motivated by a spirit of all who had gone before them and inspired by the legacy that those individuals created for us. Vice Admiral Mustin described this powerful inspiration at the ship's commissioning when he said, "This creates a synergy, and that synergy embodies so much that it will be hard to recreate anywhere else in the Navy." In fact, former Secretary of the Navy, John Lehman, while writing a letter to the Chief of Naval Operations just days before the ship's commissioning in 1985, stated that there should always be a Samuel B. Roberts in the United States Navy because of what the name embodies and what it inspires. The crews that served on FFG 58 upheld that legacy to the fullest and fulfilled their obligation in time. For you see, Samuel B. Roberts represents all that the United States Navy stands for: history, tradition, courage, tenacity, professionalism, and as everyone who stood up a few minutes ago knows, absolute audacious performance at sea. This ship's performance and achievements are impressive. During her lifetime, she sailed in the majority of the oceans of the world. Think about that. Flying the colors of our nation with pride and steely determination. Whether for routine operational assignments, humanitarian assistance, drug interdiction, or war. Her intensity and professionalism were always at the highest level. In 19 competitive cycles of the ship's career, the ship's company on Samuel B. Roberts won over 80 Departmental Battle E Awards, individual department awards, and 9 Ship Battle Efficiency Awards. SBR garnered 3 Battenberg Cup nominations as the top ship in the Atlantic Fleet, won 7 Fleet Safety Awards and 8 Golden Anchor Awards. 4 of its commanding officers have been nominated for the Stockdale Award, and Mike Davis won it in 2000. Both a wardroom officer and an enlisted crewman were nominated and won the coveted Surface Navy Association's Admiral Zumwalt Award for inspirational leadership. While numerous members of ship's company received combat awards for valor and exceptional performance. And last but not least, as she was going out the door, she closed out this imposing list during her final deployment by setting and breaking all the records for Fire Scout operations, logging 450 hours of operational time. That is a record amongst all fleet units in the United States Navy. A very impressive record for a frigate that they thought would be an underachiever. Over the years, I have often received notes from fleet commanders and operational commanders praising the ship's performance in their theater of operation. They have always noted the professionalism of the crew, the inspired leadership of the captains, and the chain of command that was leading the individuals on board. My compliments to my fellow commanding officers that have upheld the honor and strong tradition of this ship, as well as the officers and chief petty officers who have inspired, trained, and led the men and women who have manned Samuel B. Roberts throughout the years. A special salute today must go to Captain of the ship, Commander Erica Hoffman. She has done a superb job in a very, very difficult situation. She did a job not only successfully deploying Samuel B. Roberts for the last time, but also for ensuring that her crew has been well taken care of in their career endeavors, and then bringing Samuel B. Roberts to this day in the most professional manners. Strong kudos to you, Captain Hoffman. Walt Whitman, I can see Tilly, calm down. Walt Whitman, the great American poet, once wrote that America is a great nation, perhaps the greatest of all nations, but not because of its skyscrapers, its industry, its natural beauty, its monuments, or even its sleekest ships. No, our nation is a great nation because of its people. They're the ones that provide the ingredients that make us great. Their initiative, your initiative, drive, optimism, confidence, and durability to survive difficulty and persevere to success is what truly makes America great. Those that have served in Samuel B. Roberts over the past 30 years are the lifeblood of that assessment. They never considered failure. They never thought of ever giving up their ship. While walking these decks, they have represented the best the United States Navy has to offer, and frankly, the best our country has to offer today. The nation should be very, very grateful. So in bidding farewell to this indomitable warrior behind me, I think it is fitting to use the words, a quote from Commander Robert Copeland, commanding officer of Samuel B. Roberts DE-413. When describing his crew on Leyte Gulf, after the Battle of Leyte Gulf, and trust me when I tell you, I have thought about this 100 times over the years. Copeland said, having been appraised of their situation, the men zealously manned their stations wherever they might be, and fought and worked with such calmness and efficiency that no higher honor could be conceived than to command such a group of men. So to FFG 58, I say, farewell, great lady. The image you racing at flank speed in heavy seas with your battle flag flying gloriously on the way to your next mission with undaunted determination will live in our memories forever. No higher honor.